Now I have to go back to the other thing. Happy Friday. Hope you are doing fantastic. Terri Levine here with my friend and colleague, Justin Donne. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you.
Oh, yeah, this is exciting. We are going to actually take you behind the scenes, pull the curtain back, and we're going to tell you about something that you can do to make a lot more money in your business that's super simple. And we're going to actually give you a model for it. So, Justin, do you want to talk a little about what we've done?
Yeah, of course I do. But the first thing I'd like to do, because I think it's appropriate today is Victory in Europe Day. And around the world, in the UK where I reside, it is VE Day, and that's what we call it. I saw my neighbor, a veteran, with his cap on. My grandfather served as a military intelligence officer in World War II. And it's a day that we honor and respect. We have friends like Dave Hobley, like my father, who served in the American military, my uncle, who served in the French military. And people like you and I wouldn't be here if the good guys hadn't won that war. So we're very grateful for that, for our lives. So I wanted to say that first and foremost, because that's the day that we're on. But it's also even more appropriate. And here's the reason why. Because following the war, there was a period of recovery. There was a period of economic, well, it was really tough. My grandfather had to start cleaning public toilets in France. He ended up a wealthy businessman, but he started from scratch. Today, well, it's not a world war, but the pandemic we're going through now is very similar economically, where a lot of people have been put out of business, a lot of people have been put out of work. So what I'm trying to say is that this is evergreen. Whether it's 1950, 2020, or 2050, what we're teaching is going to work, because there are other magnificent systems out there that teach a lot of complicated things to do, some that require investing in things, some that don't. But some of them can be overwhelming in terms of the learning process. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we all have a lot of time on our hands right now. But this course that you and I created together is for people who need something fast. So not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not teaching someone how to scale to 1 million. That's another product and service that you have. What we're doing is for people who had the wind knocked out of their sails, for people who had everything go away with no income or very little income, to get back on their feet, to revive, to resuscitate, and to bring back to life a business. And I think that is super powerful, because there's a lot of people in that category. And there are people listening, obviously, who are going to be thinking, because I can read minds, well, kind of. There's people who are going to be thinking, well, wait a minute, I'm a hands-on business. I'm a massage therapist. I own a cafe. What am I going to do? What are you going to teach me? I can't I can't give you coffee like in Star Trek by a trans. But here's the thing. Over the years, over the decades that you've been in business, I know some of the people that you've helped personally, and a lot of the other case studies that you have of hands-on businesses, from chiropractors to dentists to massage therapists, yoga instructors, and Pilates teachers, who have been able to, during good times, create an extra source of revenue. During bad times, at least survive. So they may not be getting rich right now, but they're not shutting their doors. And that is super important. I know people who are impacted by this, chiropractors and stuff, that I'm going to share this with them, because this could literally save the business's life. So that's why I think this is so good for us to be talking about today, and why I'm so privileged in a way to count you among a friend and someone that we could create this together, because nobody else is teaching specifically the super simple 7 moves, 7 lessons. They're all under an hour. Okay, one of them may be a little bit more than an hour, but it was really detailed and important stuff for people to learn, such as stay out of Facebook jail. How do you do that? I was in jail. Wish I knew that before. So there's so much in there, but some of the lessons are 15 minutes, and 2 of them are an hour. The rest of them are 20 minutes, 30 minutes. The commitment is low on the learning curve side of things. And then the commitment is all on the learner to implement and to potentially get out of their way thinking, this is too easy. Will it work? Well, yeah, it will work. All you need is a telephone, a piece of paper, a pencil, and minimum connectivity, like a free Zoom account. There is 0 investment required to get this up off the ground, because what we're not teaching is branding, marketing, all these fancy things that come later.
Yep.
important to business. We're not poo-pooing that, and all the MBA friends of ours. But what you taught me is how to get those leads going in this time of everybody else is like, not possible. And you showed us how it's possible. You showed me how it's possible.
Let me speak to that. You know, my finding was that people were getting frustrated, overwhelmed, struggling with all these steps and all these complicated moves and hours of trainings and trainings. And I was like, something isn't quite right with that. So we came together with this concept. What if I take a real person, Justin, and we take him from, hey, it's pandemic, I don't have money rolling in, I don't know where to go for money. And literally just the way I would engage with a one-on-one client, it was paying me $25,000, take him step by step. And he allowed this to all be recorded in a teachable fashion so that you can literally go, oh, let me just do exactly what she told Justin to do. And then you can go and you can do that. And Justin can talk to you about how that worked.
For sure, because I took copious notes, and my notes I have distilled and transferred, not everything, because some of it's private, but a lot of my notes are turned into a guide. You know, I won't say a workbook, because again, this is not a complicated exercise with tons of homework. This is not something with lesson after lesson after lesson with worksheets and this, because that's fancy bells and whistles, and that's cool. But what we need, what I desperately needed is, let me start getting a little money in the door, or else it's welfare for me for the rest of my life. And I'm not criticizing people who are on welfare. If you're on welfare right now, fine, that's okay. What you should do is do this as well, so that you can eventually wean yourself from that, because there's a risk involved with welfare. The risk is that you're then dependent on somebody or something or a government. And again, that's okay. And some people, you know, they may have a disability, they may have some issue that necessitates that. But even people with disabilities, like our mutual friend, the chief solutionist, he's not dependent, and he is independent. And that's what we want. And I think that that's the beautiful thing, is how can we do it rapidly? Without cheating, without BSing, without lying, without fabricating things on the internet and potentially risking us getting shut down. So none of that. But what do we actually need to do to just light a fire, go for it, and get it done quickly, really quickly? And it really is all that we're teaching. And that's why the lessons are short. That's why the guidebook is short, gives the whole overview, the lessons, the assignments, everything is in there. But it's surprisingly short and to the point, because in simplicity, there's power. In complexity, there isn't. In complexity, it's hiding stuff. Complexity is hiding things. Simplicity is powerful. And that's what we've created. That's what we've done. It is fantastic. And so I do not want to make any income claims. So I'm not going to say something like, I might do in another context, I made $10,000, $12,000. That wouldn't be a lie. So, but I'm not claiming that. But what I am claiming is that I've got more leads than I can handle, and I had nothing. I was sitting at home, kind of depressed with nothing. And so implementing this has achieved that result for me. Now, what income comes on the end of that, that's going to, of course, be so different depending on who it is. If you're a dentist, that might be a lot more than I'm able to command. If you're someone like me with my track record experience and gifts and talents, that might be more than somebody with a more modest or shorter career behind them. But absolutely everyone can do this because of how simple the actions are. And so without giving anything away, I'm again reiterating that you need a pencil, piece of paper, a phone, and minimum connectivity on the internet, such as free Zoom software. GoTo will work as well, anything. And people can actually do what's being taught in these lessons. And guess how long the lesson, I mean, you could literally do all the lessons if you wanted to in less than a day. There's not like 8 hours of content there, because in simplicity, there is power. It's delivering only and precisely what's there. I also had the privilege and opportunity to ask questions. And I tried to ask questions for me, but I also tried to ask questions that I think perhaps everyone or most people might be curious about. So the questions I'm asking are not just random, I'm confused. They're questions specifically that I designed and thought through that would help me and help everybody else at the same time. And so that's what we're doing. And that's why I'm so proud of it, because again, I got more leads than I can handle. The specific income, I can't even tell you what it is because that changes on every couple days, so I could have said 500, then 3,000, then 12,000. I could have said all that, then potentially 25 in another few weeks. All of these numbers would be true. But again, I don't want to make claims because I don't want to mislead someone into then they're going to latch on to a specific number and think, oh, well, I'm going to make $25,000 in a couple of weeks, because that's just not true. That would be exaggerating and potentially misleading someone. And we're not doing that. We're simply stating the exact precise facts. And the exact precise facts is I got more leads than I can handle. And that happened within days of, during the thing. It started happening, not days afterwards, it happened during the thing. Money happened after. The lead, conversations, all of that happened during. And I also connected with people and learned a lot. So there's more benefits. So it's not just the leads, it's not just the income, it's the connecting with people. And that feels good, number one. That's most important. But number two, you learn a lot about who you're serving and your customers, because let's face it, you're talking to them. That's one of the things we're tipping here is you're talking to them, learning about them and what they want. And then you'll know which of those things you're actually able to deliver on and which you can't. Now, the part that I'll leave because people need to sign up for the courses. Well, what do you do if you cannot deliver on some of the things? Well, we address that too, to make even that a reality. So there's so much in there. And it's just thinking about it. I'm like, Terri, how did we pack and cram so much in to, 7 really, really short lessons? But we did.
I know kind of what happened here, so I thought I would share that. Both of us came together. It wasn't just the desire to help Justin with leads and with income, which is the desire that we're here to help you with. It was, and how can we help others? So vicariously, as I literally strategize and give Justin directions, a lot of consulting, do this, go do this, do this. Very simple, as he said, just 7 simple moves. While we were doing that, we were thinking of you. We were thinking, what if somebody else had this question or owned this kind of business? And the brilliance of this course for me is that any business owner vicariously, here's me coaching Justin, here's the exercises and the activities, and you can go replicate what he did. It's not, oh, this is one person who got lucky. He's one of over 6,000 people that I've worked with in a very strategic, systematic way. And the last thing, 2 things I want to say. One is, as a heartrepreneur, I teach people to do business heart to heart. And that's the connection Justin is talking about. We're seeing a lot, and I'm sure you are too, of, let me get in your face with an ad and buy this and the ad and buy. And we said, no, we're going to keep this simple. We are actually not here to get in anyone's face, and we're not here to market in that way. So all of the marketing that we do in there to create all this lead generation is just easy, effortless, natural conversations that anyone can do, even extreme introverts. And the other piece that I want to say is the biggest challenge that I have seen with the business owners I'm working with who are hiring me for one-to-one consultations right now is they just don't have leads. And the biggest problem that you have in business, if you don't have leads coming in every single day into your pipeline, you will not have consistent income and business growth. So one of the things that I've been really good at over these 40-something years in business is, how do I make sure I wake up every day and there's people raising their hand, I call it reverse marketing, saying me, 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 me. And just this morning, over the last 2 hours, we've had 7 people in 2 hours book appointments. Now, that's not us going out there and saying, book an appointment, blah, blah, blah. It's us doing, my company doing the 7 moves in this course that then it's reverse marketing. People see what we've done, the value, the education, how simple things are, and they raise their hands. That's connection. That's heart-to-heart communication. And it is the opposite of what I see most people doing, which is sell, 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 push, push, push. I'm unsubscribing right and left from various people that are just in my face every day without value. So I think that's a piece that we want to mention. Make sense, Justin?
Oh gosh, yeah, because I'm not comfortable with that, because if there's no value in it, I think you mentioned it to me once. You paid me one of the highest compliments I've had in my life. You said, every time I talk to you, I learn something, this, that. I like to do things like that. I like to make sure that even if I say good morning to someone, that I'm adding even a minuscule amount of value to them by flowing them either a smile or something to help, even something as simple as that is an effect that I enjoy creating on people. And so I think I'm just not comfortable with that. If I'm trying to exploit people, I can't do it. I can't. It's just not against my nature. It's just blocks, and it doesn't work that way. So it makes absolutely perfect sense. I will say this. You mentioned something about person got lucky. Okay, yeah. I get what you're saying. In a way, though, I did get lucky. How did I get lucky? In the same way everybody else can get lucky. And that is that they came across Dr. Terri Levine. They came across this course that we created together. And so they're extremely lucky. So everybody can be lucky, just like me. That's the brilliant thing, is that I got lucky, yeah, but everybody can get lucky too. So in a way, twisting it around a little bit, the logic, luck does have something to do with it, because if you never came across this live, if you never came across this video, if you never came across our universe, well, then maybe you'll never come across that course and you're a bit unlucky. But if you did come across this, then you're pretty darn lucky, and we can help. Specifically, you can help, just like in the same way that you helped me. And I think that is a wonderful thing. Well, it is in my book, at least. So.
There's one other thing that we were talking about before we went live that I think is really, really important. A lot of people have not created courses on platforms, either on their own platform or on Udemy or on Teachable. And many people, are thinking about creating. And some people are in such long creation mode that nothing ever gets done. And so now weeks and weeks have gone by and people aren't making money and getting leads because they're still taking courses and trainings. As Justin said, you could go through this in no time. And here's the real thing for you to consider. Model what we've done, then say, well, how did they structure their course? Oh my gosh, when you see how simply we did this course, really simply, basically me doing business strategy with Justin and us recording it. It's that simple. It's doing what we're doing here. This is the way that you actually, right now, in my opinion, will want to model your own course. And if you don't have any kind of course or training online, watch how we've done it. And then we're just saying, we'd recommend you model what we've done, which is unlike 99.999% of the courses out there that have so many, as Justin said, complicated moves. What I find is people are busy with hours and hours of trainings and calls and videos and lessons and workbooks, and nothing is making them money because they're in this learning and creation mode. And we said, no, we're going to cut right to it. Here's the first thing you do. Boom, you're going to get some leads. Here's the second thing you do. Boom. And when you make these 7 simple moves that anyone can do, I'll be very transparent. I was a C student in school. I was a talker just like I am now. So I never listened. I was just talking. So I didn't get very good grades in school. You do not have to be a studious person. You don't have to be smart. I'm really myopic. There's one thing in my whole life that I've been good at. Honestly, one thing. I've done a lot of things. There's one thing I'm good at: growing multi-million-dollar businesses, because I understand in a heart-to-heart connection way how to generate leads. And literally anyone can generate leads. I've worked with over, 6,000 people. And I've never had anyone who followed my system who all of a sudden didn't say what Justin said, like, wow, there's so many leads. Yeah, you, no matter what business you're in, you have leads out there too. You just don't know reverse marketing and the 7 moves that then have the leads come to you every day. And if you own a business, all of the money in your business comes from being able to generate leads regularly without spending, please hear this, time, money, and energy, which is what most people get caught up in, spending time learning, money on ads that don't work, and energy spinning their wheels, trying this, and then thinking that's the greatest new invention. I better go over and try that. Simple, simple, simple.
Yeah,
Anything
and
else?
that's a really important point that we made there is that, well, this course is really simple. If you're expecting bells and whistles and fancy graphics and PowerPoints, there's none of that.
Nope.
It's basically somebody who signs up to this course is a fly on the wall. They're watching and living vicariously through me, learning vicariously through me and you, and absorbing all the information they need. They also have a guide with detailed notes, although I was almost wanting to not put that on there so that people would pay attention and take their own notes. But then I thought some people like to learn a little more by reading, and so we're engaging people in lots of the different learning styles. But here's a key thing that I really think is so important, probably the most important thing. I was actually a very good student. I was straight A's, A pluses, honors, advanced. I was a really good student. But my problem has always been, and I still work on this, by the way, I'm always studying, I'm always learning. Well, when am I actually doing? When am I actually implementing what it is that I've learned? And that's a key, because you could be a genius and know everything and win trivia contests all the time and be completely broke. And I've been there. As a contest winner and broke. And the thing is that our course is not one of those courses that you're going to immerse yourself in and never emerge from. Our course is the exact opposite. You're going to dive in, and then you're going to escape from the course immediately and go do stuff so that you can arrive at leads, customers, clients, and money very quickly, as quickly as possible. Again, I can't make promises on time frames, just like I can't make promises on incomes, but I can make a promise and say it will be relatively quickly. And if you sit there and study, but never do, then I can also guarantee you won't get any results at all, other than you might like the course. But if you do, if you get into action, then you will potentially make enough money to survive this pandemic. And in the future, you'll have a stream of income that you can add when you open your doors again. So I think that is incredibly important to emphasize that. And then the second thing that you mentioned is for anybody who is wanting to design a course and really do service, really render a service to the people right now. Maybe skip all the fancy hoopla, because that costs money, number one. Number two, it costs time. Number three, you can do that later. Really put something out there that is your expertise, because then you don't need that enhancement behind you, because it's your mastery and your expertise, and nobody is a bigger authority than you are on that subject. For you, it's business, it's marketing. For someone else, it might be massage therapy and Pilates. So if you're looking to create a course, perhaps it would be a worthy investment to model the way we've done this, fly on the wall, vicariously through a real student in real time live, and see what results they get. We could have failed, Terri.
Oh yeah, we could have.
We were under fire.
Yeah, we didn't edit anything. It's just like, this was real, exact, this is coaching and strategy that was real in the moment. We didn't pre-plan. We didn't do anything other than Justin showed up as a ready student, and I showed up as a willing and ready teacher. And in the past, by the way, we've never talked about this, I've done a lot of fly on the wall things over the last 26 years. And every time I've done fly on the wall, people have paid anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000, literally, just to be in a fly on the wall while I worked with somebody else. So we decided not only to do this so that it was really accessible, we also decided to price it at a ridiculously accessible price, because we did this not because the two of us are sitting here going, let's bring in a lot of money from this course and get rich, just being transparent. we did this because we both came together. I wanted to help Justin. Justin wanted my help. And we knew that there were masses of people who needed this kind of help, you know, pandemic or not. Let's just pretend it was all over tomorrow and life was, you know, the old normal, not the new normal. You would still benefit from this information. So as Justin said, you know, we're going to go through life. It's cyclical. There's going to be times where it's easier in business, and then right now, a time where it's more, quote, difficult. And so this information is information you will be able to use every day for the rest of your life in business. And even if you're a startup, if you have a business concept or would like to start a business, this is also for you. It's for you if you're making 0, 30,000, 100,000, 300,000, and even 600,000 more. It really doesn't matter. This is the fundamentals that you need to do right now. And the final thing that I want to say is, you know, while I've talked to so many people that are having financial difficulty right now, I'm going to be just super transparent. I always just share. My business is growing exponentially during this pandemic. And that is not because I've changed anything. I'm not lowering prices. I'm not marketing. I'm just doing what I always do, giving and helping, educating, creating value, and making the exact 7 moves that I direct Justin to do and therefore you to do. And the business growth has kept up, and not just me. I have client family members who literally came making nothing: chiropractors, dentists, dermatologists, massage therapists, yoga practitioners, healers, doctors. I could go on, attorneys, bookkeepers, that literally were like, hey, I don't know what to do. I'm a hands-on business. Or maybe did a little virtual stuff like a strategist or a consultant or a life coach, really didn't understand what are the right 7 moves. And it has made all the difference for them. So we're going to let folks go. We will put Justin will put the link for the course in the comments. And then that's a quick part of the lesson that we teach, why it goes in the comments. We won't tip our hand on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important to know that. I will say this, there's a reason we didn't engage so much fancy editing. And the reason is because we want people to park their skepticism and see, warts and all, as we like to say sometimes, that this is for real. There's no editing involved. We didn't cut, chop, paste anything. It's just kind of there. So there's times where I'm really transparent and authentic. You know, maybe if I went and edited it, I'd cut some bits out, but I didn't want to do that because I thought, let's just be straight with people and give them the unvarnished truth with no veneer or filter in front of it, number one. Number two, it's fantastic because it's not even a tenth what you would normally charge for such a thing, not even a tenth. And so it is an incredible deal that people are getting. Are we going to get rich off of this? Probably not. We'll see what happens. If we help 1 million people, do we deserve to get rich? Heck yeah. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me no. If 1 million people are back on their feet thanks to what we've put out there, of course. But that's not why we did it. We did it because I thought, well, selfishly, help me. Unselfishly, because that's what my grandpa raised me like this, why don't we record it and create a course and help everybody else who is in a similar boat to me? So yes, I'll drop the link in a comment for the specific page to find out more about the course, to sign up for the course, to get in there. And you know what, though? It's on a wonderful platform, and there is, of course, a 30-day refund policy.
Yeah.
So if someone is really disgusted with what we've presented and they think you guys are idiots, well, they just get their money back. There's no risk involved. It's fine. And you know why it's only 30 days and not 90? Because the lessons can be done in 1 day. But I doubt that anyone, after they start like me, getting not even halfway through and then leads are coming in and then money's rolling in right away afterwards within a couple weeks, I doubt anyone's going to be like, dude, give me my money back. And if someone really does, fine, go ahead, abuse us, but not really. Just, you know, karma will take care of everything. So I think that there's the final thing I'm saying is there's not even a risk involved because it's the way the platform's designed. is people get to do the course, and you know what? If they really hate it, they get their money back. It's okay. And we don't mind, because I have a firm belief and conviction that I've shared with you in the past, which is if I haven't helped someone really and gotten them a result and an outcome that they want and value, I don't feel I deserve their money. It's not my time. I've spent time, sure, I spent time petting my cats, but I don't feel that entitles me to anything. But the results, the transformations that I create for people, I feel then I deserve a lot of money. And it's the same exact thing with you, with this course. And so there's no risk involved. I think go ahead and do it. And, but one request, promise us if you do get a result, you leave us a review and you tell us what the result was, whether that's in writing, whether that's in video, whatever it is. We want to know what this has done for you. And we already know that any challenges or negative feedback will come. So we're not asking for that, because we know that comes naturally. But when you get the result you want, do let us know. That's the only thing we ask. That's it, really. So link will be down there. Click, find out more, sign up for it, take the journey with us. And I would love to hear from absolutely everybody that does the course.
Me too. And then I'll just conclude and say, if you're sitting there and you're struggling at all in business, if not now, when are you going to do something that really makes a difference? And if not this, which is so simple and easy and effortless, then what? And if not us helping you, then who? Thanks for joining us. Justin will drop in the link, and we'll see you later. Create an extraordinary day. Bye now.